Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Friday, December 23rd. Year is 2022 here in the Arizona desert. And interesting day, a bit of a flat day in the market. We are heading towards a holiday weekend and with incredible global interest and unrest going on. So let's look at the markets. Let's look at the little bit of news at the end. And before we start, I'm going to fire something up here. I'm sorry that I did not fire this up before I started, but you will see my little process here. US oil spot, boom, fire that up. Let me actually clean this up, go to the right one, remove these, bonk and bonk, and let me fire this up, and bam. Okay, so first of all, let's check out the traditional markets here. All right, boom, 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 boom. All right, so as always, BitcoinDailyView.com. Got more for you there. Indicators that I use, things that I endorse, and all that kind of stuff. Check it out. BitcoinDailyView.com. Check it out. All right. Looking at 2022, the year in crypto markets, just a series of disasters. This is kind of fun. I like looking at this. I'll put it in the live chat. I just think it's kind of a neat little neat chart that somebody commented over there at that place, TradingView. Fun stuff. Did I just close that? I guess I did. Anyway, you saw it. It's over there. One more look, and bam. I think it's interesting. You know, we've had the Celsius destroyed, BlockFi below it. We had SBF and the whole FTX nonsense, Terra crash. Anyway, interesting moment. And like here, around February, many donate in crypto to the Ukraine war. And then what happens? You know, SBF, FTX kind of showed you that, well, thanks for falling for the now foreign aid is now like corruption or whatever, you know, like now the way the it's all the deep state and like the surface state gets its money is foreign aid now by suckers who actually, if you send Bitcoin to friggin' Zelensky, you know, people who like had money in Celsius and FTX don't necessarily deserve to get screwed over. I mean, they were a lot of good people, lost a lot of money. But if you sent money to Zelensky, yeah, you know what, you pretty much had it coming because you're dumb. Anyway, so FinViz, here's the thing, FinViz, looking at today in the market, what I like seeing is that the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 are in general on the move up today. So far, they're just barely hanging in there to have a positive day. I like seeing that. Looking at the S&P 500 explicitly, for whatever reason, the energy stocks are doing incredible today. Tesla continues a downward spiral, but not quite as intense as it has been. That's what you get when you mess with the deep state, Tesla. Anyway, so I should say Elon. Strangely, Google and Meta are in the green today. Apple down 0.7%. So S&P 500, slightly green day. Energy sector definitely really rocking. I wonder why. Don't know. Maybe because it's so damn cold in the United States. All right. Yeah, I know. Ooh, people are probably getting a feel for how the Ukrainians are doing right now in a lot of the United States. All right, oil, U.S. oil spot. Green day today, continue a rise. I like seeing that. Yesterday was a bit of a Darth Maul doji, dollar strength index today. A red little doji there. We'll see what happens there. The fact that it's not pumping or dumping probably is giving the markets a little bit of a room to move up. And as you can see over here, the S&P 500, you can definitely see S&P 500 making a slight move up, but down under all important moving averages. U.S. Tech 100, you know, pretty much got a wick on each direction. Slightest bit of a green day. Gold, a green day today, actually wicking over the 314 moving average on the daily chart. I like seeing that. So it's nice to see gold making a move off the 20 WMA is what I should be. So anyway, gold back in the running. It was a hard dump yesterday. Today making a move up. I like that probably because, of course, dollar strength index is a slightly red doji. It's kind of indecisive today. Both at it moving up or down. That gives the markets a ability to do something. Looking at silver back in the green today and above all important moving averages. Once again, looking at gold and silver, Silver definitely, since it doesn't cost a darn much per ounce, definitely does offer the investor some serious gains if it does make a move. At $18.50 not too long ago. Now it's at $23. I'll take that trade. Good deal. That's actually phenomenal for metals to actually move like that. So gold and silver, both recently making a move. I like what I'm seeing. And you know what's funny? I'm going to give you guys a little tip. What it's worth. This is a daily chart. Look for W's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forget all that nonsense and bless you. If you're a wave, a Elliott wave trader, bless you. Seriously, you're a wonderful human being. But I think that you're out there chasing windmills. To be honest with you, there's a W. Of course, it did retrace, but then it went on and it went ahead and actually ran. So they don't always work out exactly perfectly. You could almost, if you want it, you could get kind of a little bit fun here, and you can almost call like this a W. Sometimes you don't see a shape until after the fact. Gold did not quite do it, but you could almost say like this. You could almost say like W like that. See, watch for W's, and they equal win. See that pattern? Watch for W's. They definitely have, for me personally, played out. And if you think that's crazy, that W meaning win means you're going to win, well, it's no less silly than Elliott waves. Wave A, wave B, wave whatever. Okay, here's the deal. Coin market cap. Looking at all the big exchanges, most of them are slightly in the positive today. I like seeing that. Okay, coin up 103% last 24 hours. Crypto.com up 41%. People are probably using their crypto.com cards to buy stuff for Christmas. Binance up 13%. So anyway, we're seeing a slight upwards movement. I like seeing that in the 24-hour volume on the big exchanges. Looking at derivatives on Binance, longs versus shorts with leverage up 14% last 24 hours, but still dismally low at 22 billion. You want to have 50 billion for the market to basically be alive. So a slight uptick in volume. That's interesting for a Friday, especially going into a holiday weekend. We'll see how it rolls. Once again, we've already looked at this, and there is Craig Simpson's famous W pattern that I actually got from Jonathan Regan over at Blockchain Education. Check them out over at bitcoindailyview.com. Come join the team in 2023. You'll be glad you did. All right. Looking at Bitcoin in the top 100, Bitcoin coming in at 16,854. I like that. Staying above 16,000. Good to go. In general, the top 100 have a slight bit of greenness to them. I like that. Decentraland, Mana, up 8.9%. Now people are buying that virtual real estate for Christmas because they can't afford the real thing. Okay, Thor Chain up 4.6%. I always like it when Ruin does well, just because the name is so badass cool. Terra Luna Classic, Lunc up 7%. Definitely will look at, let me note these because I will forget as we rock. Let's look at Lunc. Let's look at Mana. Let's look at Rune. Let's look at Thorchain. I like that they have some somewhat impressive numbers there. And for anybody who actually might happen to watch these live, I mean, I have a very small audience. I'm mostly just doing this for friends who dig the updates. But if you are watching live, or here's a reason to watch live, if you see this pop up, if you call something out, I will chart it. And if you have an interesting article or some kind of news and you post it, and it's not like obscene or whatever, I will mention it, or I'll post it. Okay, longs versus shorts on Binance for Bitcoin: 63% long, 36% short. Also, for Ethereum, 57% long, 42% short. And I'll also mention, if there's anything you want me to cover, I really don't see the comments quite as easily over at Blockchain Education where this is broadcast, but also is over at my YouTube. If you commented on either, but if you comment like on my YouTube, the Craig Simpson one, I'm more likely to see it. If you put a content with something you want charted, like after the fact, or you put a comment with news you want me to that I could cover, definitely post that. And if you do go to, it's not linked to over at bitcoindailyview.com, but if you go to my other blog, right, do I have it linked here? Radiant Creators. If you go to just the radiantcreators.com, I should link to it also here. Put like my other blog. I'll put it up here. And you go to the contact, and you send it to me there. Say, here's a cool link to some news, or please chart this. I'll do it. So you can get in touch with me over at radiantcreators.com in the contact, or just comment on, especially over it's just the Craig Simpson YouTube. I'll see it. I get notified on those. And I will, anything you want, I will cover it. Like I say, as long as it's, somewhat germane to crypto and, whatever. Okay. Bitcoin versus USDT here on the 45-minute chart. Well, this morning we do have a break above the 200 moving average. Actually, that was actually yesterday. So we're holding the 200 moving average with this crazy Darth Maul doji recently. Woo, that was intense. That wiped out both the longs and the shorts. And while we're chatting here, before we get out of here, let me actually fire that up. I think that would be worth watching. Let's look at this. It's over at bitcoindaily.com. You can check this out. I'm just kind of curious what the longs and shorts look like, how they're kind of fighting each other. We'll give that a check a second to propagate. So anyway, Candles by Sam is firing up right now. I got 3 blue candles, purple candles. That means we're seeing some upwards momentum. See some back here yesterday when broke above the 200 moving average. Squeeze indicators looking good. Directional index is looking good. ADX is kind of low. Binary candles not super strong. Definitely see some volume here recently. That was buy sell volume, as you can see. Definitely a long and a short squeeze. So let's see what happens. When we get between the 200 and the 314 on the 45-minute chart, you tend to do this, and it could go either way. You just tend to bounce between them. Let's look at what the world kind of looks at. The hourly chart. Hourly chart just now kind of challenging the 200 moving average. And what I think is very funny or interesting on the hourly chart, when we actually kind of had a break above that 200 moving average when we were trying to, massive long and short wreck right there, and a nice volume spike that came in. You can see the volume spike more explicitly on the 45-minute chart. You can really see how they match up. Bam! So somebody knew it was up. That is a very well-timed move to wreck the crap out of longs and shorts. That probably wiped a lot of leverage trades out. Just kind of guessing. Anyway, 45-minute chart. We're above the 200 moving average. The 200 moving average is trending up. Our chart, we're beginning to challenge it. And that Darth Maul doji really shows that people saw that challenge, and people were getting a little bit sparky, wanting to get in on it, and and somebody wiped the shorts and the longs off the table. Just in case you ever wonder if they're watching. Oh, they're watching. Believe me, they're watching. Their algorithms are watching, that's for sure. 4-hour chart's awesome here for Bitcoin. I love that we're sticking to it. It's nice. We're trying to get above it. You can see these little purple squares here. Those are across the 200 moving average towards the upside. So we're kind of beating on it. And actually here too, once again, as we're riding this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, bam, I think that was definitely a very timed move. So longs and shorts are wrecked. So what does that mean? What's going to happen next? Usually something happens when they wreck them like that. Squeeze indicator here is showing a positive momentum on the 4-hour chart. I'm going to basically be watching for a break above this 4-hour chart, 200 moving average, come back down, test it, and move up. You know how I was talking about the W's earlier? Do we see a W here? W? No, I don't see a W yet. But I would love to see, kind of a up, come down, and win. That's not really a W, but still, I'm kind of waiting for a pattern like that and some strong indicators. It looks like maybe it's time for some action. Of course, we're going into a very volatile and crazy time. Weekend is here. Holidays here. Gird your loins, save your money. Not giving you financial advice. I'm just saying, be careful, y'all. This is interesting geopolitical moment. A lot going on. I definitely think this is a time of market volatility. I was watching this. There's a great indicator called Moon Phase. MEWN phases. Interesting. I was just watching the daily, just seeing, are there any correlation between moon phases and Bitcoin, price action? And I'm going to officially say, you know what? No, not really. You gotta really stretch it pretty far to think that there is. I'd love there to be, but I didn't see it. Daily chart, below the 200 moving average, not so hot. Let's look right here. Daily chart. I'm not going to bother with this, but looking at the MACD on the daily. MACD on the daily is interesting. The tangent towards the MACD is now heading towards the signal, and the histogram is closing. Let's see if we can get a positive MACD cross. In fact, right now is a very, 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 very good time to put in a alert for that. Just go to MACD. You want the MACD crossing the signal. I think that could actually be, that could be a positive sign. That definitely, in my opinion, just looking at the algorithms alone that trade Bitcoin, and a lot of like your smaller individuals who trade Bitcoin based on daily MACD crosses, that could be a powerful moment. I would expect as it gets close to crossing and actually crosses, definitely a little perky action in Bitcoin. For heaven's sakes, not giving anybody financial advice, but when I see that getting really close, if I see Bitcoin looking a little bit positive, like making that 4-hour trend moving average cross, then definitely that's when I might put in a slightly leveraged long. Okay. There you go. Boom. All right. Now, looking at XMR versus BTC, I was in this recently and I got stopped out. Boom. Took a big dump, but it's correcting. Let's see what happens on this one. I'm kind of interested. Somebody decided it was time to dump Monero versus BTC. So boom, but it's recovering. Not really a good trade right now. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Looking at SHIB versus USDT just for fun. Really, alts are kind of in a tough place right now. SHIB is sucking ass, not doing too great. How about my Cayenne list here? I got to update this, and I will. I'll do this today. So if you do subscribe to the Cayenne list, I'll be updating that today, and I'll put this in the live chat right now. So if you want to sub to that, I'm going to be trading some today, and I'll update that and hopefully have some good stuff. I just put in mostly versus USDT and versus BTC. I really only am looking at KuCoin right now just because that's where I'm doing most of my trading. So I'm finding coins on there that are looking sparky. And so anyway, Kava versus USDT, nice strong break above the 200 moving average. I like that, but we're still below the 314. Indicators are looking very, very good. We'll see what happens with this one. I'm not quite really, I would not say this is a great trade yet, but we'll see what happens. I guess a person could be insanely optimistic and they could kind of call this a channel, like that. But I'm not sure if I'd quite go there yet or not. But still, indicators looking good. I'm just worried about it probably hitting the 314 and then bouncing between the 200 and 314. I kind of want to see a break above that. But 45-minute chart, not looking too bad. Let's look at an hour chart. Just now challenging that 200 moving average. If you can find a break above that on the hourly, come up and then retest, find support, and start moving up with strong indicators on the hourly, I think definitely could be a play. Just watch out. We'll probably get rejected by the 314. It isn't that powerful. But Kava versus USDT, I'm going to put an alert in for a break over the 200 moving average on the hourly chart. And if it actually does that and has some strength, I'll hop in that one for a while and put a stop loss right below the 200 moving average. Pond versus USDT, nope, out of the running. Clay versus USDT. Interesting. Look at those wicks. That's friggin' insane. Indicators not looking too bad, but not looking too great. Strong break above the 200 moving average. I like that. Some other indicators here that I can see look very, very good. Hourly chart looking pretty strong. Once again, because of the volatility in the market recently, I don't like it when the 200 is below the 314. I prefer it when the 200 is above the 314 and you break above both. That's better. Right now, we're not in the best place just market-wise, in my opinion, but you can see, once again, you're not quite totally delusional if you actually do an upwards channel like this. That's actually looking pretty darn good. So Clay versus USDT. If you got some USDT together and you're on KuCoin, I'm sure it's on Binance too. Check your stuff. I tend to, these wicks mean that's an interesting thing to me. I find that interesting. This thing wants to get bursty. Something's going on. 45-minute chart. What do we got going on here? Yeah, 45-minute chart looking strong too. 45-minute chart's about to challenge and break above that 314 moving average. So I'm going to put an alert in for a break above that 314 moving average. If we go up, come back, test it, and start moving up, and in the, of course, 1 hour chart, it's going to be looking good at the same time. That's going to be rocking. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is still below the 200 moving average, so definitely if it does move up, it will find resistance at the 200 moving average. As you can see, even with these bursty wicks, where they find resistance and stop, the 200 moving average in the 4-hour chart. But the 4-hour chart does have great looking indicators. So anyway, this one, I'm going to be watching it. I like what I'm seeing. Clay versus USDT, that's a possible win. How about TWT? Nope. Ape. It went above the 200 moving average, came back, tested it, made a run, hit the 314. Now it's getting rejected. Indicators are cooling off. Done. All right. I need to update this list. Nothing is very exciting here. And now For the part where many people drop off, I gave you the opportunity now if you want to, because this might get boring. And now let's talk about some news. All right, Zelensky speaks before Congress, demands U.S. planes, tanks, and more. And I just don't dig this whole unfurling the Ukraine flag in I believe this was the House of Representatives. No, it's jacked up. I do not dig that at all. Just no. And the whole idea of like supposedly like some unit there all wanted to sign this flag and it was so important that it make it to him, bull crap. No. So anyway, the Ukraine ambassador to the UN just posted this. They will stand together as long as it takes. That's gross. And I look at this and I look at that and I just don't dig these people. I'm not partisan. We can Sorry, I'm not partisan. We really should have a bunch of rhinos and Republicans thrown in here too. This is kind of biased and not fair. Definitely, you could have a bunch of people on the right are behind this too. This is biased, but but Bernie does have his little Russian flag. Although I'm not sure if he still likes the Russians or not. But all these other people, these are all valid. But there's just as many conservatives. Paul Ryan, there's a big one. A huge plethora. Okay, definitely of people on the right are there too. But I think that this is a good one too. Here, I like that one. But this guy here, whoever he is, the Bradford File, this guy's great. He makes it very, very clear. Just to be clear, nobody in the U.S. Capitol tonight gives about Ukraine or saving democracy. They care about laundering hundreds of billions of dollars through a corrupt dictator willing to whore himself out to keep the ruling class. And whore himself out to the ruling class. They're all cheap, shameless frauds, and they are. And unfortunately, this artist partisan. I wish it actually had some. Believe me, there's plenty of the people on the right side there. I'll deserve to be in that picture too. So good art, good point, but delusional a little bit too. LUNC versus USDT. Let's look at that. I did mention that. I didn't forget, but I almost forgot. LUNC versus USDT. So if you skipped out in the news, you missed out on the good part here. Anyway, 200 moving average rejection on the 45-minute chart, got above it, rejected off the 314. It's nice to see this. I like it. I think, honestly, you can do an upwards channel here, no problem. Bam. That's nice. I'm not quite interested until it comes back and tests the 200 moving average and then gets over the 314. And like I say, I think it needs to come back down, and then it'll probably just test the 314 and then probably fail again, or maybe it won't. Definitely, I would have a trailing take profit right in that 314 with a percent or two. So basically, if it doesn't break through and begins to retrace, you sell at max profit. These indicators look really, really good, like what I'm seeing. How about the hour chart? Looking good too. You definitely, I would say, actually, to be honest with you, what I would do is let me do my thing again here on the hourly chart. 45-minute chart, always keep an eye on that. But one thing I would say is if you hop in here, okay, where's that darn thing? Short position, long date range. Where is that thing? I probably can't find it, and I don't want to hold you up. That thing which shows like your profit risk, forecast, price range. Sorry, I can't find it. I'll fix it. I'll find it later. But if you do actually. Let's see if we see a nice bounce of the 200 moving average. Because if you got that bounce, you can kind of figure that's a good 6%. I mean, you could have like, a trailing take profit at like 5% on this trade, which would be the top of this channel, see how things are looking, or just sell there or something like that. This is a great time to actually hop in. So not financial advice, but I'm just saying I might get in on this trade and put a stop loss right below the 200 moving average right now, and then basically put a sell or a trailing take profit at like 5% top of this channel. On the hourly chart is looking really, really good. Note how things are going on the 45-minute also. Is this above the 200 on the 4-hour chart? No. So I'm definitely going to find resistance when it hits that on the 4-hour chart. But the hourly chart, in combination with the 45-minute chart, LUNC versus USDT, I really like that. I like what I'm seeing. This is definitely could be a play. In fact, I like it so much, I'm going to leave that open. And let's look at Mana versus Mana versus, let's say USDT. Yeah, Mana versus USDT made a big move today. 45-minute chart, broke the 200 moving average, broke the 314. Let's see what happens. We're either going to run between the 200 and the 314, or we're going to keep getting some mojo and break above that 314, then find it, then basically challenge it to get, if we find support there and keep going, it's going to be great. This is a very, very strong looking chart. Let's look at the hourly. Hourly is a break above the 200 moving average, hasn't hit the 314 yet. Indicators are strong. That's a lot of push, and it's gotten kind of far from the 200 moving average, which is this red moving average right here. I'm going to wait for it to kind of resync with that. Let's see what happens. Today's kind of crappy right now. Too many Aussie ones that have taken off. They have the 200 below the 314. I prefer the 200 to be above the 314. And usually, like I say, what most likely is going to happen is this situation where you just bounce between them, and that can usually go either way. You don't really know what's going to happen, but without a strong break above both, especially with the 200 on top, it's kind of hard to predict if you're gonna keep that run going or not. But Mana versus USDT is nice and strong. I kind of like it. And then the last one was Ruin. In fact, I'm gonna leave that one up so I can keep an eye on it. Trading view, Ruin versus USDT on Binance. How's that one looking? Nice. Okay, so broke above the 200 moving average a little while ago, came back, retested it, broke above the 314 nice and powerfully, and it's still moving up. Indicators look good. I think it can actually, Ruin versus USDT, I think it could really, I have no problem with calling that a nice upwards channel. Bam. Probably come back and visit that heartbeat and continue up. Definitely one to watch. A little bit of hesitant on any trading this weekend. I might just chill unless I see something really strong, and even then I'll have a tight stop and a trailing take profit almost right away if it starts moving up. But there you go. Ruin, not looking bad at all. I definitely would check out Luncy, Mana, and Ruin against BTC if that's how you want to trade it. I'll do it today, but this is already way long probably. So Bitcoin True Seekers, I am glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of the peaceful revolution. For every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you punch an evil, WEF globalist right in the nuts. And that's what life is about. So take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.